And with this episode, Denji became probably the most luckiest guy on the planet, transitioning from probably the most unluckiest guy on the planet to now the most luckiest. Hello, it is I, Gomi, and it is Chainsaw Man Tuesday, and we're going to be looking at Chainsaw Man Episode 5, The Gun Devil, who does not show up at all in this episode. But yes. So now we're getting a little bit more glimpse into what is probably the main villain of this show arc, possibly. I feel like the show. I don't think this is going to be a long show. I don't know if we discussed if it was going to be 2 core, 1 core, whatever. But whatever the case is, this is the major villain. You can tell the Gun Devil because they're finding the little flesh chunks of the Gun Devil. And much like Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen, those little chunks make the other devils more powerful. But enough of that. First, let's go off our boy Denji copping a feel of power. But it's not as good, I mean, for him, because power pads her chest. Why? I don't know. Whatever the case is, Denji is let down. He is disappointed. He is downtrodden that the boobies didn't feel as good. But come on, man. Denji, come on. Boobies are boobies, man. That's a lot more than some of us have ever gone in their lives. But I digress. He then proceeds to get flirted on by Mommy Machina, discussing how his goal that he attained wasn't as good, but he actually brought up a very valid point. Like I said, this show is not all just stupid, silly jokes and action. It's actually has some substance, because while he was talking about a very stupid topic of his goal of touching boobies was not as good now that he's attained it, he did mention how he wonders if he's gonna keep moving the goalposts and he's only gonna be happy chasing what he wants but not attaining what he wants. That's actually quite interesting, which Makima responds to by flirting on him very hard. He gets to feel her face, feel her ears. She nibbles on his finger a little bit. I guess she's into fingers. And then he gets to grab her boobies. I hate you, Denji. But continuing along, we learn more again about the Gun Devil. The nice little backdrop about the Gun Devil, as we see now, without it explicitly being said to us. Like, we know that Aki hates devils. We could kind of figure out why, but we were shown it and not told it. Again, very good storytelling on the anime's part. We see the brutality of the Gun Devil just by how much he destroyed everything with. We don't even know how. He just annihilated so many people. And I think this is an interesting concept. The more feared something is, the more powerful it is. And guns are pretty terrifying. So it makes sense that that's one of the strongest devils. And I really wonder, what are some of the other insanely strong devils we could see in the series? What else are people afraid of? Cancer? That could be a very powerful devil everybody's afraid of. Wonder what other devils, man. Heights? Falling from heights? No, it probably has to be an object. Knives? That's people would be afraid of getting shanked out in London, I guess. Yeah, no, that's all I can really think of there. So now, again, like I said, the goal point of this series now is to collect the chunks of the Gun Devil, and then Denji can kill the Gun Devil to get one thing he wants from Mommy Machina. Gee, I wonder what that could be. Continuing along, they are going to now investigate. I can't even remember if they said the name, but some devil that is inhabiting a hotel. So several civil devil hunters had died, and they send in the good old Aki squad. We get to learn a little bit more about Himino, and forgive me, I don't remember their names. Kobani and Arai. We learn a little bit more about those two. Mainly about Himino. We learn how she is going to be Ayakawa's predecessor, his trainer, whatever you might say. And we learn a little bit about her ghost power. She's pretty interesting. She gave up her eye to get the right arm of a ghost. We saw a little bit of its use. She choked power out. She probably liked that. The sick fudge she is. And they make a bet. Denji at first saying he doesn't need another woman as kiss on the cheek because he's out for Machina. But in Denji fashion, the second she mentions a tongue kiss, he is all on board with killing that devil. They kill a little foot monster thing, and then we're in what's probably going to be the next episode's kind of like tracks where they're stuck going between fours. I can't remember what that, it's like actually called something, but they keep looping throughout the floors. Whatever the case is, it was a decent episode. Not much happened. It had some pretty decent animation. Like, oh my, not even decent. Like, the animation is insane. People at Mappa probably died animating Denji grabbing boobs. God, I just picture some poor Mappa animator just sitting there slaving away for hours on end just to write this guy fondling some boobs. That must be the highlight of his career. I feel the next episodes where we're gonna see the real nitty gritty animation get in. I feel they're kind of trading off episodes, which I hope they don't get into the habit of. Just one episode amazing animation, one episode not the best, one episode amazing, one episode not the best. But I'm also fine with that if they're putting a lot of good story beats and effort into it, which they absolutely are. It's very beautifully animated, even with the stills. And lastly, the best animated part of this episode, the ending. The outro was so beautiful. It was insane how beautifully they animated that outro. I don't know why, and especially because they're doing a different outro each episode. My God, that's going to be such a pain. But regardless, it was beautiful. Pretty good episode. I liked it. I do not think it was trash. This has been Gomi, and I'll see you next week for the next episode. Bye-bye.